It's another case of the Mondays.
Did you get hung up there in your words?
I did.
That's okay.
No, I was hung up in the music. I was kind of dancing away. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It is an hour later than our normal time. I'm so much happier for it. Giving me some time to relax a little bit after work before coming on here. It's better for me. It's better for you. It's better for Katie. And if there's a downside, let me know. But I probably wouldn't believe you. How are you doing, Katie?
Doing okay.
Should I say the phrase? Should I say it? I almost forgot. Maybe I'll forget how it goes. Whether you're watching us live or catching us on replays, welcome back to another Case of the Mondays. So cheesy. I love it. We got a few people watching right now, and definitely one at least listening in. Our good friend Jimmy. If you don't know Jimmy P, then you're not doing it right.
Alex said you were so smooth.
Yeah?
Don't let it go to his head, Alex.
I would like to say this video is sponsored by Gorilla Snot, but it's not.
Jeez.
It's not at all. I'm going to buy it myself. This product right here, it is, I think it's made out of pine pitch.
That's what it smells like.
It's for drumsticks and guitar picks. It's a little bit of a gooey resin.
Don't touch it, because then you're going to get it all over the equipment.
That's okay. And it gets extremely sticky. So you don't drop your pick.
Or your stick.
How has everyone else's Monday been? I didn't do a hello and welcome banner like I normally do. That works.
You're slacking.
So, Monday. Such a good day. Today, my Monday was like most other Mondays. Better than last Monday. Didn't have to stay late. In fact, I got out a couple minutes early.
That's because I kidnapped you.
Yeah. And Katie came by and like, are you ready?
No, I said, can you come out to play now?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Katie had the day off. Good for her.
Kind of. From work. At work.
Right. So you did a bunch of house chores.
I did.
Fun. You should be like putting some comments up there, Katie, if you would. I'm not very good at looking at that at the same time. Alfred says Mondays are always brutal unless it falls on a Tuesday. Then it's all right. I believe it. My Tuesdays used to be my Mondays. They still are for Katie, but...
Yeah. Sometimes they're the Mondayest Tuesday ever.
So around this time of the day, the sun is beating hard on this part of the building. We turned off the furnace, but I'm feeling the heat. But we got a new thing today.
We did.
Yeah. I'm going to tilt the camera up to see it. Let's show this off. This is a new summer thing, and we're going to order some more based on our impressions so far. It's pretty good. I just got it today in the mail. Ooh, that looks weird in the camera. It looks like it's barely spinning.
Yeah, it's like slow-mo.
Can you see the remote? So right here. Ooh, that way. That light screws into a ceiling light. I'm going to turn off. So I got a remote here. I'll turn off the fan. I'll turn off the light. When you turn on the light, you can, excuse me, I can control like the brightness And the color temperature. Look at that. That's like super white light, like 65,000, 7,000 K, something like that, right? The color temperature. I can turn it all the way down to here where it's super yellow. Kind of cool. Then on top of that, I can change the brightness. It's not just like steps. I don't know if it will show up in here as much. It's really bright in here. It probably doesn't show up on camera as much, but yeah, there we go. Especially when I dim it down. Pretty cool, huh? And then there's 3 settings, high, medium, and low for fan.
Alex wants to know if the fan turns pink, and I said no.
That, if you put the right light towards it.
Yeah.
So it's low speed. Looks really funny on camera because of the refresh rate or whatever. It's spinning a lot faster than that, I promise.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Turn it up to medium. Ooh. And high, I think it'll start turning the other way. Yep, there we go.
Kind of.
It almost stands still. That looks cool.
And what did you say? It only runs 30 watts per
Yeah.
fixture?
30 watt max. I like it so far. But we've only been using it for a couple hours now, so we'll see how it turns out. But if I like it, I'm going to get 2 more because we have in this room 9 lights. So there's 3. Can't really get it all, but there's 3 rows of 3 through here. So the middle row, that light and that light, I'd like to replace with this fan here. So we have a little more air circulation. Because it gets quite hot in here in the summertime.
Yeah.
Wintertime, we got the furnace going. Keeps us warm and cozy.
And the fish cozy.
Yeah, in the summertime, it gets a little over hot. So ways to keep things ventilated, windows open and stuff, so it doesn't get too hot in here. And that's part of our summer prep so far, at least for the fish room. Excuse me. Carbonated beverages will cause burps. As far as outside goes, we've been playing a little bit.
Yep.
This last weekend, spent a lot of time fixing some vehicle issues and cleaning up those. Was playing around in the greenhouse, and I want to go to town in that place. Like, meaning go to town. We're already in town. You catch my drift.
Will do.
But you get the itch while you're in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
do.
as soon as you're in there, it's like I dug through a couple
Trust me.
things.
I've already been making my list for plants.
We found like 3 or 4 plants that we thought were dead, and they sat outside in the winter, sat in the greenhouse over the winter, and it was basically just those temporary little greenhouse containers, 4-inch squares, with dirt and some dead leafage and stems coming out of it. Leafage is a word.
Foliage.
Well, they were in a cardboard box covered with other stuff that I had to move out of the way, and I opened it up, and all 4 of those containers are blooming with plants. 2 of them are hostas. They're like this long, hiding under the cardboard in the greenhouse. So, they were rescue plants that you got, right?
Yeah. They were given to me. Do you want to try growing these if they'll even do anything? And I'm like, okay. Well, they got rained on before it got cold, and so we just shoved them in the greenhouse. I figured, well, if they live through the last winter and being outside without being watered and everything else, we'll just try doing it again. And they look better this year than last year.
Yeah. Isn't that nature, though? So it kind of sparked a conversation between us about when we had my cousin and Renee over, about how we didn't understand how some people just can't grow plants. They say, well, I don't have a green thumb or whatever. And I think that's kind of in the same situation as like doing aquariums and whatnot. It's the more you fiddle with things, the more you try to control things or do stuff, it can be like devastating. I know a guy that does a lot with his garden, adding things. He's always measuring the pH of his soil and stuff, and then he'll be like, yeah, we didn't get anything this year. That's because my soil wasn't this pH and that pH, and I didn't add this, and and he blames on a million things. But I think it's just like pouring so much into the ground. Man, just go outside, dig a hole, grab some dirt out of the yard, put a seed in there, give it water, give it light.
Pretty much. That's what they did in the olden days.
For the most part, it's the same as aquariums to me. The less you screw around with it, the better it does.
Right.
Not meaning that it's completely simple or anything. There's a lot.
There's still a lot to go in on plants, just like there is fish.
Right. I mean, there's...
But if you overdo it, you can really
but
make everything crash.
to get something to grow, it should almost come as instinct for most of us. I think when we overanalyze things and we overcomplicate, it just doesn't work. I don't know. And the only thing when we started thinking about that, because of seeing those plants, is on their own, came back, did what they had to do. And it happens all over the world with all of the seasons, and things regenerate, whether or not human hands were into it or not.
Right.
I mean, the whole forest can grow without any of us touching anything. Can be like, good thing there was a human being there to make sure the pH was right in that soil. No, it grew on its own. He didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
Well.
So did you have anything on your list you wanted to plant this year?
Oh, out in the greenhouse?
Yeah, we're in the yard.
I think, as far as eating vegetables, tomatoes we're always going to do. I love them.
Yeah.
The cherry tomatoes and big tomatoes. The peppers are always great. We didn't grow any beans or peas.
I was going to try those this year.
I don't know about doing those in the greenhouse.
I have the trellis to put outside to the one side of the greenhouse.
Outside of the greenhouse?
Yeah, the only thing is we're going to have to put fence around it to keep the deer out.
Oh.
Which is easy enough.
The other things I want to do is houseplants, propagation, things that we know we're good at, spider plants, the purple heart, wandering, they don't call them wandering Jews anymore. What is that?
Wandering dudes.
Wandering dudes?
That's what I've seen.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with saying the word Jew. You can have a wandering Jew just like you can have a wandering Mennonite. It doesn't matter. But the plant is called Wandering Jew, and I like, they're beautiful plants. And there's a few other like house plant type things. I'd like to propagate as many as we can. They're rather easy to do. Everyone knows spider plants, they'll kick off. Maybe not everyone knows. Why do I keep saying that? Spider plants will kick off...
runner babies.
Mm-hmm. And have little mini spider plants hanging from them. Just take them off and toss them in water, toss them in dirt, whatever, and they'll just grow again. That's why we have so many of them. They're fun, and they're good for the air quality. And I think that we could, give some away to people. If they want to buy them, we could do that too. But just propagate as many plants as we can instead of having to buy seed or having to buy other plants.
Right.
That's why I'd like to do this summer. What about you, Katie?
Well, I ordered in some new stuff at work, so I guess it'll be a surprise for you.
Great. I love surprises.
But they're really cool.
They always are. You're lucky to have a guy that doesn't go, oh, another plant.
I know. I love that.
Make me a sandwich. I did ask her to make me a sandwich today. And she brought it right over to work. I felt bad for even asking because
Well, I
I
asked
didn't
if-
want to be that guy. Go make me a sandwich.
No.
I don't ask her that very often, but I failed to eat breakfast this morning. I thought I'd be fine through it. I think my blood sugar got a little weird, and I'm like, oh, I think I need a sandwich. I'm gonna starve. And he's right about that. I completely agree with you. And that's what we did last week, though, right? No, it was our pop-up.
4. We didn't have.
We did
Oh,
a
we did
random
a small pop-up later on.
I talked about how much I loved you. You talk for a while. What's your plans for what you want to grow? It's all a surprise.
Yeah.
I think that's just an easy way to say that you don't know.
No, I do.
Just want to leave yourself open to possibilities.
Well, I'll give a couple things.
Girls do that.
I've got kiwi vines to plant,
Yeah?
and I have 2 new clematis I'm going to plant, and different varieties of tomatoes. I just won't say what kind.
Why not?
Because it's a surprise.
A surprise for me or
Yeah.
everyone else?
Everyone, including you.
Yay. I'm just like you guys. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes, we have a compost pile. We're going to do buttercup squash this year instead of volunteer spaghetti squash because, oh my gosh, we had it coming out of our ears. We didn't plant any squash last year, and it's a good thing we didn't because what did we get? Like 12 at the end of the season? It's like, what are we
And
going
they
to
were
do?
big, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't small.
So when we cleared the spot that was the original garden, cleared it off to make the greenhouse, it kind of shoved a lot of the topsoil and the crap we didn't want because we were making a base for the greenhouse for the floor. I didn't want plant matter in that and stuff. So we kind of just scraped it all to one side and made a hill probably 4 to 5 feet tall. And, well, there was a lot of seed left over from other squash plants, and they grew everywhere.
Yep.
The vines just kind of went around the greenhouse, and we even had tomatillos in there, some tomato plants.
Tomatoes,
Lots
of morning glories.
morning glories galore. They just got mixed in those butternut squash. I mean, they grew huge.
Yeah, and beans started to grow over there, but I think the deer ate them off.
Could have been.
Couple small pepper plants were in there, but we have new varieties of peppers coming into the greenhouse. Well, they're technically at the greenhouse now. I just haven't gotten them.
Pretty soon here, we're going to fill up our big pond. Ran out of energy last weekend. We looked at it a lot, talked about it, but it was after the chores that we had. Just didn't get to it. but there's a little bit of water left in it, some leaves, some twigs. We got to scoop them out.
Not too bad.
And get that filled back up, get it ready to transfer the goldfish
Yes.
back outside. That way we can, it's one less thing to move around in here. Played with the shelf over here, got that set up to see if it would fit 10-gallon tanks. It does, but it only gives you about 2.5 inches of space between the shelf and the top of the tank. Unfortunately, that's why we bought that shelf to put 10-gallon tanks on it, and I think it's going to be too narrow or too short in between there. Unfortunately, the package didn't tell us what the shelf space was in between, but it is a nice shelf. 5.5-gallon tanks would work great on it. But we might go with something else in the meantime and probably use that shelf out in the greenhouse. So that's exciting. Good, exciting stuff.
Yeah. Plus, we have the big protein tubs to put in there for more plants.
Oh, big tubs, yeah.
Yep. There's 6 or 8 of them.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to have to do is a lot more videos of just showing these things. We haven't really put out a regular feature video in a while, and I don't want to fall into that pattern because we almost did that last year. We got to be where it was so busy that I would film stuff, but not as much, but I definitely didn't post it for a long time until it was all done. And I'd like to do more of that, just kind of up to date, showing what's going on kind of footage without it being overly produced. And I hope that it'll be all right. You know, I guess I'm not looking for the most finished product anymore in that, because it's just it takes away from what we're actually doing. For me, it's like there's only so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crap that Katie's already told me before.
Are you saying I'm right?
But every once in a while, I just want to do some kind of highly produced
Yeah.
piece of art.
You still can. But make sure your chores are done before.
Yes, Mama. I make sure the chores, the garbage is taken out, and
Speaking of, there's 2 to take out in the house. Don't. Me.
I know you did all the other stuff. And I should. I'll take the garbage out.
They're not heavy. I just didn't get around to doing it.
It's fine. It's not about weight. I get busy with other stuff and don't think about it, and it's not nice. Very self-centered person.
No, you just get entangled in whatever you're doing, and then you see something else and start doing that, and then it's like a big chain reaction. Squirrel. Pretty much.
I am what I am. That's all that I am.
But I still love you.
I love you too, Katie. So, I used that spray on the engines of my car after I had animals in my wire harness.
They're talking about the hot pepper
That's
spray.
just tonight's randomly read comment.
Record him saying you're right so you can play it all the time. He's pretty good about admitting it sometimes. It takes him a little while, but...
Well, Katie's always right. Even when I'm dead set that I'm oh no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
What was it the other day?
It was
you
whether
swore
it was
up
the
and down.
13th or 14th episode.
Oh, yep. You kept saying it was 13. I said, no, it's 14.
Yeah. This is episode number 14.
That's because we didn't do our live last week.
Right.
So now this is 14. It would have been 14 last week.
Lumpy Dog has some great advice. Lovebirds. No, I don't know much about the birds. I know there's some wild birds around here. But there are birds that are called lovebirds, right?
Yeah, there is.
Aren't they a parakeet or something?
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know. If anyone knows if there's about birds. Well, Shady Grady's here. He's got a wonderful bird.
Do you want to tell everybody what kind of birds we've had this week?
Oh, we had a yellow-headed blackbird, which I've never seen before in real life. Rose-breasted grosbeak. We had cardinals, juvenile pair of cardinals. Of course, the golden finches, purple finches, red-winged blackbirds, grackles. Yeah. Big crow likes to wash all of his food in our boat pond.
We had 3 in there today.
Yeah, they all decided that's where we're going to wash our meat.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, we also had an oriole.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So we put out the jelly feeder, and we do have a nectar feeder for it too, but yeah, they're super loud.
They let you know they're there.
And they got a beautiful song, but they're super loud, so it's like when you hear them in your yard, you know they're there. We do have a video on our page that just says Oriole. And it's kind of like a shorter video that I did last year because I wanted to put more of a section of videos of different birds on our page as well. It's just getting the equipment to do a decent zoom on things. I have another camera that does a better job for zooming. Because you kind of need that telephoto if you're going to do some videography of birds or photography. They don't always let you get real close.
And you missed the hummingbird when you got home.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
The hummingbirds are finally up here in northern Wisconsin. So are the orioles. So it's definitely proof that summer is coming, if not here already. We're into May, and it's some days almost feels like early summer, but we're in the end of springtime for us up here. And it's just, all of a sudden it's here. We have so much more work to do outside, things that have to be done. And if I could just get a kindly reminder from everyone. Well, it doesn't even have to be kindly. Be stern, be harsh. Just give it to me
Get your
straight.
button gear?
Yeah, not only get my button gear, but like strap the camera to my head or something. Just get some footage, put it out there so you guys can check it out, see what we're going to be up to. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. Because it's really cool, actually. It's our favorite place to be is here at home, in our yard, in our fish room, together doing things. And I was hoping other people that have an appreciation for plants and fish and things like that you're going to enjoy it and maybe learn something and maybe through doing this YouTube thing we can learn together. You can teach us stuff too and say, hey, I've experienced with that. You ever thought of this?
You could live stream, but just not chat while you're doing it. Kind of like Craig does, but chat.
Well, that experiment that I did with the walking around in the yard, that worked really nice.
Yeah.
It's just we wouldn't be in the chat room as much.
No, because I was running chat when you did that.
I just check on it once in a while, but I'm not using my phone when I film because my phone sucks. It just shakes all over the place. But connecting it to the DJI Osmo Action 4 camera, the greatest action cam ever made, in my opinion. Definitely not paid by them.
Heck
If
no.
I were, you would know it. Because I'd have more than one. I'd be like, this angle, that angle, that angle.
360 of Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that'd be too much. No.
Here you go. I'll give you one. like that?
You gotta sure.
If I pirouette, my beer belly shows. It shows all the time. 31 minutes of talking about nothing. How's it going so far?
You're doing very well. Oh, do you want to let everybody else know what you came home to find the other day? Before I got home from work?
In there?
In the 29, yeah.
What I came home to find? I was home all day.
Well, you happened to find them. You didn't
It was
know.
Saturday, because you were at work.
Well, I just said I was at work.
2 days ago. Just more fry.
And more.
I was cleaning up out here and found a breeder box. I knew that our swordtail was ready to pop again, so I just kind of put it in there, get it out of the way, get it ready. After I pushed some plants away to get it ready and put it in there, I noticed a ton of fry swimming around there, swordtails and guppy. Just right in the plants. The mountain minnows were chasing them. Other guppies were chasing them. They're just too slow. They can't move through those floating plants like they can, like the fry can. So they're surviving. It's awesome. We just got lots more of babies there, babies there, babies there, babies over there.
And babies over there further.
Yeah. Baby fishies.
How many black more?
Two would be cool. At least one. But two would be cool because I almost felt like the last one we had, he was...
Kind of left out.
Yeah. Like the other... He's very sociable, but he just... I don't know. He got along with the other fish. They always do. All goldfish do, but it just seems like when you would find him kind of by himself a lot in the tank. So I think two would be cool. I don't know if it was a him and or a her. A him and her or her.
It was a Wally.
Wally. I love Blackmores.
Oh, that big one we saw when we were at the pet store the last time. That thing was massive.
It's weird. They always have them there. They don't seem to sell at that store, the goldfish.
No.
For one thing, I don't know. They'll have big Mirandas and stuff, and they just seem to be a little on the expensive side for that store.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Wow.
Like a Miranda that's the body
$50.
3 inches or so.
And then there was one for over 150, remember? A different species.
It just seemed kind of high for a big box store. So I don't know where they came from. If
At least for our area.
Local breeder. It doesn't say anything like that. They're just labeled like the rest of them.
All of their stuff comes from farms. They don't get them from local breeders.
Right.
Because we asked about selling fry, and they said they don't do that.
Yeah, but the Miranda that we bought wasn't that expensive, but just I guess after they're fully grown, they're worth more.
Yeah. They're bigger and better and more of a...
Closer to death.
I should have asked if we could get a discount on Sid. He was pretty mangled. But he's not anymore.
Well, he did get a little beat up.
A little bit. Not bad.
Due to our parrotfish having eggs and our albino bisher, Senegal bisher being in with them, we were afraid for the eggs, so we moved him. First, we moved him up to the Tetra tank, and he was fine for a long time in there. Looked great. Got along with all the Tetras, the neons, the the black phantoms, not ornates. Just got along great. We decided to start putting some guppies in there.
You put my fancy guppies in there.
Yeah.
Not
The fancy tailed guppy didn't last for more than 3 minutes.
yeah.
And the Beischer, he's only, mind you, he's only 3 inches long. He's skinnier than a pencil. Can't see very well at all. Like, it's really easy to catch him with a net as long as you're slow about it. If you touch him first, then he'll swim away. But he's blind as a bat almost. Something about long fins with that guy. Well, all the smaller fish, all the neons that he could have easily taken down, as soon as there was a fancy tail guppy in there,
Boom.
had him. Just half. By the time I saw it, he
Gator
was
rolled over.
halfway down his throat. I'm like, no. And we, like, grabbed a fish net to try to just kind of break it up a little bit. He spit the guy out.
Yeah, but there was so much damage. There
Yeah.
was not anything to save him.
Yeah, by next morning he was dead. So we took him, took the Beischer out and put him in with the 40-gallon goldfish over there. Thought they won't mess with him. Maybe the largest goldfish we have in there could put him in, get him in his mouth. But goldfish, at least ours, we know that. We even tried to feed worms, live worms, and they'll come up and try to put their mouth on him. As soon as it moves, it freaks them out. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with it. They're generally peaceful. So I thought, well, they're way too big for him to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to mess with him. Let's throw him in there. He was in there for quite a while. But then I started noticing our Oranda. The fins were just glorious on that, and they're starting to be tattered. Like, it's got to be the Beischer, I thought. But I could never see any of that. But one day on my lunch break, I was out here checking on the fish. The Oranda was inside of our log type decorative thing in there. There's a side window, and the Oranda likes to kind of rest in there. It's kind of his little place. And I saw the Beischer going up to the side of the log where there's a tiny little opening. And just very slowly, getting closer and closer. And when he got close enough, he just darted. Just grabbed hold of the fin side pectoral fin. Is that what that's called? They're side swimmer finnies. I'm really good at this fish stuff, by the way.
I love
know
your
all the terms.
imitations.
Grabbed hold of it, and Miranda freaked out. I thought it was going to break off the fin because he was not letting go. And he finally did. But he was definitely hurt. At that point, I'm like, he's got to come out right now. So now he's in his own 10-gallon quarantine tank until we get the 55 and the 210 set up. Long story short, it is knocking on summer's door, and that 210 is still not set up. The 55 still isn't set up. Because we were waiting to be able to shuffle things around and not have them be cold. And now it's time to get it done.
Chop, chop.
So remind me, please, if you know my text, if you know the email, if you leave any kind of a comment on this channel, on any of the videos, to say, Jake, make sure you turn your camera on. No matter what I do. Because if it's bad, I can just, it doesn't have to go out there. It's not like a live stream like I'm doing now. Even after this, I could delete it off, but it's too late. You guys have seen what I've done. It doesn't have to be that way. Just put your camera on, Jake, and film what you do. And make sure it gets done. It's a good thing I have Katie because she always lights a fire up under my butt to get things done. But I also need someone to tell me, make sure your camera's rolling, bud. And that goes for you too, Jeff Kane. You know, I love that you're
Hey, he's been doing stuff.
Doing a lot more videos on things, and it's just, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Laura, I gotta put this up here.
The pirouette is more like forever. Or until the crash of this system. Either way. For the foreseeable future.
I know, Shady. But now my truck is fixed.
Yeah.
We can do a lot more.
That's the other thing, right? Because we had so much crap out there in the garage that needs to be hauled away. And I drive a little car.
Yeah.
And it was always cold and wintry. But anyways, I fixed it.
You did?
It's runnable. Cut the crap out of my arms doing it, but...
Thank you.
Yeah, runnable. That's a word. Look it up. It's in the Oxford. Your truck is running. So we can load that thing full of garbage and haul that crap out of here and get it cleaned out.
Well, it's not garbage. It's just a lot of stuff.
Clutter and garbage.
Clutter.
Garbage, stinky trash everywhere.
It's stuff we drug with when you moved.
Stuff that we had too much of being consumers. We won't get into that. A lot of things I have is stuff that I've held on to for a very long time, thinking, hey, this is going to be useful.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is, but there's a lot of stuff that...
How long has it sat and you haven't done anything with it?
Time to let go.
Yeah.
You know, there's an analogy of a father that wanted his child to let go of a play necklace, dirty, torn up plastic necklace. And the child didn't want to let it go. No. He only wanted to let him go so he could give him a pearl necklace, a real valuable, real necklace. And we're kind of like children in that fact that we hold on to things that we don't need. And we just have trust that better things are coming. We don't always have that foresight. I'm going to trust that better things will come if I let go of all my garbage.
Well, a lot of it's the kids' toys they haven't played with in years, and they'll never play with again. And we already got the okay to let them go.
We'll give them to other kids.
Yeah.
I just don't want to let go of my toys. I bought them fair and square. They're mine.
So they weren't for the kids, they were for the big kid.
Yeah, kind of. No, because letting them go is like admitting that your kids are growing up and that you're getting older, and it's just a hard thing.
Yeah. But you still have the memories to hold on to.
True. It's hard to touch a memory. You know?
Yep.
Having something tangible. Anyhow.
Pretty soon our pool's going to go up, Tommy. It's a little chilly here yet, though.
It's a little pool. It's a poly stock tank. You may have seen it in other videos. It's blue.
At least we don't have to worry about patching any holes.
At least we don't have to worry about moving it and cleaning it and tearing your toenail off again on it. Yeah. Which we've already talked about before.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah. Slip and slide. 10 mil drop cloth.
Nice.
Right. Can I go to Tommy's house and play?
You'll never come home.
Maybe not. Not without like a neck injury or something, but it'll be totally worth it.
Don't forget I have accident insurance on you.
Well, see, it's good then.
Yeah.
You'll come out shiny in the end. It'll be fine. Plus, you'll be available, which makes probably a lot of men happy. So many good things that come from playing on the slip and slide. That kind of went dark hurry, didn't it? Who wants to come to the adult slip and slide party? Excellent. Oh my gosh, that would just be. I just like was envisioning.
Well, it's
Yeah,
kind of like,
Tommy's got to put out
you know how Jesse does his slip and slide, right?
Jesse.
Jesse Kaufman.
Well, these people don't know who that is.
Oh, well, it's a friend of ours. True redneck. Love him to death. He sets up these massive tarps down this hill, and he's got a pond, and that's where they end up is in the pond. And then there's a big blow-up raft in the middle of the pond that you can launch people off of.
But he uses tarps.
I think so. Maybe it's plastic.
I would hope so, because tarps all usually have those grommets on there. And catching a nipple on that would suck. Or a pinky or something,
Ugh.
you know. Anything, even just like, I'd catch my nipple on it for sure. Yeah, I would stay away from tarps unless you get the grommets out of the way. Metal grommets do not mix. No. Definitely not.
He might just do the big industrial rolls of plastic, like Tommy does.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
But yeah, it's huge.
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 Yeah. You know, there were slip and slides when I was younger. And then I always thought they were cool. And then I bought them for my kids and I'd set it up. I'm like, why is this thing so small? Weren't they bigger? Were the slip and slides bigger as kids or just
You were just
that way?
smaller, and they looked bigger.
I remember when they first added a pool thing to the end of it. I was like, mind blowing. Because the original slip and slide, there's like nothing at the end. You just kind of go off into the lawn. They had some that looked like had sprinklers around it and splash pool.
Well, you know how some kids can get overzealous on how excited they get and get to go in. How many times down that do you think it would actually last if there was a pool at the end that it wouldn't rip
Oh
out?
God. Ours lasted a good long time until like a somewhat older kid that came over to one of my daughter's parties, and he was, I guess mentally he was very much on the same basis as the rest of the kids, but physically he was much older. And I'm not talking about myself.
I was just gonna say.
I knew that was coming. No, he wanted to take a turn, and yeah, then it busted the pool at the end.
Yeah.
He felt really bad. It's definitely not me. It wasn't me.
That's what Shaggy said.
It wasn't me. I went down the slip and slide. That was pretty bad, huh? It wasn't me.
You've done better.
It's the first time I've ever tried to have him talk about the slip and slide before. Goodness gracious, 50 minutes in. We're probably not going to go much over an hour. Just wanted to do an hour. Didn't have a whole lot prepared, but we wanted to make sure that we did a show. I'd like to get a special guest lined up. I could talk to Berto, because we owe him one. Since we had to cancel last week. See what Garcia says. Would definitely like Tommy to be a guest on our show. And we can always do a pop-up thing and then drop a link and things like that. I didn't feel like doing it tonight for dropping a link because I didn't want to stay on longer than an hour. But I prefer to have a special guest, someone we can highlight and talk to, and people can learn more about you as we ask you questions, interrogate you.
Things they might not know.
We will ask, and we will find out. Answers. That's kind of our style. And I just want to get some special guests lined up. And I guess I've always kind of put out like the email to let us know if you're interested. And maybe we just need to do our part and reach out and ask. I just haven't got that comfortable yet of asking people. And then on top of that, I don't always have ways of asking someone without being in another live stream where I see them. And I kind of feel weird when it's on someone else's channel and I'm trying to recruit somebody to come and be on my channel. This gets weird in my mind. Like, hey,
almost like you're being rude.
Pay attention to me instead of what's going on here. And I don't always want to do that. So at least on our live streams, if you're watching, you see that, hogandhilldesign@gmail.com. If you want to show up for a case of the Mondays, and we are now starting at 6 p.m. Central Time, which should be easier for a few more people. Email us. Just tell us, hey, how's it going? Let's talk. We'll say, yo, sup, stuff. Katie's better with words. Show him. What would you say?
About what?
If you were interested in going on someone else's live stream, what would you email to them?
I'm interested about being on your live stream if you would like to have me. Please let me know if that works for you. Date, time.
I see, and at the same time, I don't think I could do that either. I don't think I could ask someone, hey, can I be on your live stream? And it's not like people haven't. And they don't say it like that.
We
But
want you to.
They're a little more outgoing people, but I think I'd be too shy to even ask somebody either. So, any of you guys, we'd love to have you as a special guest. Just talk between the two of us. Of course, have the live stream going where we can react with them, and the point of it being a way to get to know each other better.
Yeah, most definitely.
For ourselves and anyone who watches, just to go beyond the
beyond the tanks.
Yeah.
We still might ask about the tanks.
Definitely talk about fish and aquariums and stuff like that, but I feel like sometimes the topics can be a little more sorry, I just got distracted by something I saw in here. Sometimes the topics can be at least for what we're trying to do, overly fishy. Does that make sense? Like, we can talk about fish forever, but I'm more interested in knowing the human side of each of us that have channels that do things,
right,
that show up on here.
The other side of YouTube.
Get to know you as a person. And it doesn't have to be in depth or anything like that, but I think it's just a cool experience to kind of just talk with people. You catch my drift. I don't have to go on and on about that. What's Jimmy saying here?
How about helping me celebrate another birthday? Big deal these days in the middle of June. I'd like that.
Middle of June. How middle of June? Let us know. I would definitely want to do that.
Yeah. For sure. And anybody else who's made comments on here, please email us any dates or times that might work for you on a Monday. And we'll try and do our best to get everybody on here. We would appreciate having all of you.
Rick says I helped hold down his live stream one time when he was gone for a while. I don't remember that.
You should not ask certain questions out loud.
Do I remember that?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Screen just went away. I've been having that a lot more lately, too. I think because we got more people. Oh, yeah. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I keep sniffing in the microphone. None of that.
Only a couple minutes left.
57 minutes. So, thank you guys for watching, really. And it's just not an empty thank you. It's a
heartfelt thank you.
I appreciate your patience and the fact that we have not put out as much content lately as we should. Just trying to change a lot of stuff in here, but like I already said, I'm going to keep myself motivated to do more filming. We're definitely not just sitting on our asses in here. There's a lot going on every day. It's just me grabbing the camera. And that's why I even bought that camera and said, hey, this would be the best thing. Spent some decent money on it. I should be using it. And, yeah, I guess that's all I really have for now.
Like always, we appreciate every single one of you guys, especially coming to our lives and commenting and sharing our videos. We couldn't be here without you. And we wish everyone an awesome night. And hopefully we'll see you next Monday.
Next Monday. All right, guys. Still watching Johnny Cash video.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great Tuesday tomorrow.
Tuesday?
Or a Wednesday, depending on where you're at.
We have a Tuesday this week?
Yeah, it's my Monday.
Oh, yeah. Well, have a great Tuesday. And goodbye.